Nick Fuentes came out with a set of videos making fun of the Jews, identifying himself as one of the people that stole that menorah, that candelabra from Jerusalem. I just want you to understand something, Nick. You do know that we can build another one. We already have one in the old city of Jerusalem. It's like not such a big deal. There's directions how to make it. Where do you get the understanding that we're all broken up by this thing that like you guys have our menorah just in time for the 9th of Av? It's a fast where Jewish people commemorate the destruction of 2 temples in Jerusalem and all that went with that. The destruction of the temple, the destruction of Jewish sovereignty, the mass murder of Jews, the enslavement of Jews, the loss of sovereignty, and all the pain and the heartache that went with that, just in time for that fast, which is happening this week. Nick Fuentes, who is a far-right American commentator, came out with a set of videos making fun of the Jews and proudly identifying himself as one of the people who was a part of the group that stole that menorah, that candelabra from Jerusalem. Let's watch Nick as he says his stuff about the Jews and think about what it means here for the 9th of Av.
The Arch of Titus commemoration, that this is subtle. This is when we took their menorah. Never let them forget. If you have any Jewish friends, don't let them forget. We took your menorah. We got your shit, bitch. So for those that don't know the history, the Romans, we destroyed their temple in
We'll get to that in a second.
70 AD. I'm talking about the Jews. The Romans destroyed their temple, fulfilling Christ's prophecy, and we looted it and we took their menorah. In 70 AD, we crushed their temple and over 50 years crushed their rebellions, kicked them out of Jerusalem, and that's why they were scattered for 2,000 years. They hate this. They hate to be reminded of this. It makes them see. They think the menorah's in the Vatican, and you know what? I hope it is. I hope you're not getting it back. It's ours.
So the first thing is that he says Jews hate to be reminded. What do you mean we hate to be reminded? We have a whole holiday of reminding us. We have a fast. We have a whole thing. We mourn. Like Nick Fuentes isn't surprising us by telling us that the menorah was taken from Jerusalem and it's commemorated on the Arch of Titus. So just on that point alone, it's a little strange. What do you mean we hate to be reminded of this? We're meant to be reminded of this. God kind of says, be reminded of it, reminded of what happens when you lose closeness with God, when you fail God, then your temple gets destroyed and your menorah gets carted away. But in the second video, we get even a little bit more clarity as to Nick Fuentes' thinking about the menorah and about the Jews. Let's watch this together.
But a lot of Jews will go to Rome in the present day. Jews like Eric Weinstein, they will go to Rome to this day. The arch is still standing, and they'll take pictures next to it, flipping off the arch, giving it the finger, taking a picture with their Israeli passport. They're still mad about it. It was 2,000 years ago. Let it go, bro. You're never getting your menorah back. We're not giving it back. It's ours now. It's under the Vatican. It belongs to the church now. It belongs to Rome. On the order of Holy Mother Church, we have sacked your temple, we have kicked you out, and we took your shit. So they still go there. They hate it. And so,
I mean, but just to start the commentary here, first thing is it wasn't the church. Remember, the Romans are the ones that killed your God and all that. So it wasn't the church that took the menorah. It was Rome, the same as the same folks who killed your man God. So I don't understand that business in the first place. And then this identification with Rome, we'll get to that in a second. I just want you to understand something, Nick. The Romans took the menorah, but you do know that we can build another one. It's not like you can't build another one. We already have one in the old city of Jerusalem. It's like not such a big deal. It's a piece of gold. There's directions how to make it. The Romans took it, maybe melted it down. Maybe it's in the Vatican. But just like, where do you get the understanding that we're all broken up by this thing that like you guys have our menorah? If it's you guys, and if there is a menorah there, But like, just so you understand something, we can make another menorah. It's like not a big deal. It's gold. It's expensive, but okay, it can be done. It is being done. Just want to make that point. But we'll get to who are the Romans today in a minute. Let's get back to Nick here.
So we start selling the shirt, and now there's like a headline in various Jewish sources, and they say Nick Fuentes is selling a t-shirt with the Arch of Titus relief on it. I can't believe it.
I believe it. What's the big deal? Sell your stupid T-shirt. You want to be proud of the sacking of God's temple in Jerusalem. You want to be the next Arch of Titus. That's your business. I believe it. There's somebody who's gonna. If Titus was proud of it, there's gonna be a Titus today, and that's you.
And I saw Ron Coleman. You know Ron Coleman. He's like this Orthodox Jewish lawyer. He's prominent in conservative spaces. He's like a conservative pundit. Nobody likes him. And he saw that I'm selling the shirt, and he replied to the tweet, and he goes, "We're the Romans today." It's literally like The Sopranos. They can't even hide how pressed they are about this trauma, this generational trauma. Ron Coleman says, "In the Romans, where are they now?" You're looking at him, asshole. You're looking at him. We're the new Romans. It's called America. It's called the Groypers. See, that's who we are.
Just before we go on, I just want to ask a few things. Like, so you're a Roman, is that right? Are you doing international business and shipping? Are you an engineer? How Roman exactly are you? Are you a gladiator? Clearly not. What are you exactly Roman? What is Roman about you? That you're a talking head that wants to leech onto something of the past because you have a very confused background? Like, what kind of Roman are you? Are you like, how do you identify yourself as a Roman? Where does that even coming from? What do you do that's Roman? That's question number one. And question number two is, do you think that Rome and Israel were always fighting with one another? Is that what you think? That they were always at war? Don't you think there was also business and trade and normal times as well that civilization flourished? Do you think it's always about conflict? Do you need that to be always about conflict? Do you have no other understanding of Rome other than those Caesars who were anti-Jewish? Is that the way you understand it? I don't understand it that way. I think that there was many times where there was Roman Jewish business and cooperation. And why, like, what is the need? What is the emotional need for the conflict, to feel like you're suppressing somebody? Because really, Nick Fuentes is not a Roman, and he's not a Groyper and all these things. You know what he really is? He's he's a Nietzschean. He needs to feel that he's on top of somebody else, that he's suppressing somebody else. It's a power thing. He needs power. He wants power. He doesn't see the great that Rome did throughout the world. He doesn't want to attach himself to that. He wants to attach himself that when Rome destroyed Jerusalem, well, that was not exactly a great moment in Roman history. But he wants to, because he's about power. He's about suppressing somebody else. It's a need. It's a psychological need. And it's Nietzschean in its nature. And that's what he really is. And that's what, when he holds up his hand like that, it's a little salute, like, it's a little Heil type of thing. Why? Because he needs to be on top of somebody. He wants to beat somebody. He wants to be more powerful than somebody else. He sees the whole world in a conflict power paradigm, and does not see the world in harmony and working together. He doesn't understand that at the end of times, Rome and Jerusalem are supposed to kind of work together. There's supposed to be a kind of harmony between the great mechanical and fiscal and trade abilities of Rome and the spiritual power of Jerusalem and of the Jewish people. So, like, he doesn't see that harmony. He wants to be the bad Rome. He wants to be Hadrian. He wants to beat the Jews. And with regarding to making fun of the fact that where are the Romans, I wouldn't make fun of it so quickly. As Rabbi Beryl Wein said, if back then we would know who would be selling tickets to whose ruins, it would be kind of surprising, right? Israel, we sell tickets to Roman ruins, right? I mean, it's true. We are back. And you even said that, like, we're back. We are being ingathered. The Jewish version is coming to fruition. And I want to say one more thing about that, which is, do you think that the American forefathers saw themselves as the new Rome? Is that what you think, Nick Fuentes? No, they saw themselves as a new Jerusalem. They were interested in the so-called Old Testament, the Torah. They wanted to follow the paths of Abraham, not the paths of Hadrian, not slavery and suppression and destruction of Jerusalem. No. And so when you're like, we're the new Romans, but that's not American. That's not the American forefathers. That is maybe neo Nazi. Okay, maybe it's Groyperish, maybe it's Nietzschean, but it's definitely not American in the classic sense. And so when you say we're the Romans, you're like a club of angry, men, and you need to feel that you can suppress somebody else underneath your thumb. But you're not America, and you're not Rome. You're none of those things. You're like a group of angry, ticked off men who are looking for some old thing to hang their hat on and to share that anger historically. But you're not those things. You're not those things. You're just an angry talking head in America who doesn't see really the beauty of what America did to bring Jewish Jerusalem values to the world.
Tell people that we have to develop an historical civilizational consciousness. This is what I am talking about. This is what we need to tap into. The Jews have it. The Muslims have it. We have a glorious past as well. We have a glorious past. We have a story to tell about ourselves and our role in history.
So you see what he's saying? He's trying to leech on to the historical Roman, be like, you're not a Roman, you're not Italian, and you're not any of those things. And you could have something that you're proud of. You could start it. You could create it. Okay. But to connect yourself, it's like reaching. It's like having a very low self-esteem and reaching for something to be like, I'm really that, but you're not really that. And by the way, you're not Christian either. Okay. You're not in any, you're a Christian, God-believing person. This is what you're about. This person who's foul-mouthed, misogynistic, racist, he's a Christian. This person's not Christian. He's not a Christian. He's not American. He's not a Roman. He's power hungry. He's a Nietzschean. He's a person with a psychological need to be, and he's jealous, which is the most classic of all of the anti-Semitic traits. It's just plain old smallness and jealousy. Now, I don't deny that Nick Fuentes is smart. I like him because he's smart. And I don't deny that he's good at his craft, but he's not a Christian, not a Roman, not really an American. But he is an angry white young man who's looking for a place and looking to get power back from a country that's losing its hegemony and from a West that's under attack. And what's so ironic is, in many ways, we could be allied. But if you had a vision for the world that was a good vision, if you had a vision for Jerusalem as a light of spirituality, which does not detract from the American / in his mind, Roman ability to do great things around the world. But there's nothing redeeming there. There's no light. There's no beauty. It doesn't have any of the qualities. There's nothing romantic, nothing poetic. It's all just very, very angry and trying to eke out a position in this world above others.
The Jews, they like to tell their story about, we were in bondage in Egypt and we went to the Holy Land and we established Israel and David and Solomon built the temples, and they have their story.
Why do you speak about the biblical heritage of all mankind with such derision? Why do you make fun of King David? Isn't your Christian Messiah supposed to be from the line of King David? I don't even understand. See what I'm saying? There's not a logical flow. There's an internal contradiction. Look at the way he talks about Solomon and David and these things, because he wants to replace inside of his heart. He wants to replace. That's the tradition that he's coming from. If I would say it a different way for you to understand Nick Fuentes, I'm a replacement guy. I'm here to be the new boss. I'm here to be the new Israel. I'm here to be the chosen one, right? I'm not here to cooperate. I'm not here to bring the light of my civilization out. I'm here to defeat. I'm here to be chosen. I'm here to be number one. I'm here to replace. And he is clearly very upset. He thinks we're upset about the menorah. He's upset about the rebirth of Israel. Like many people in the replacement theology camp, it's very hard for them to swallow the rebirth of Israel. It flies in the face of their theology that the Jewish people are meant to be forgotten and are a witness to their own rejection of somebody else's beliefs. It's hard for people like that to deal with the rest of the Bible and the promises that are coming true in our time.
And their story is how they went to Europe, they got kicked around, they formed Israel, okay? Muslims have their story. And they talk about the prophet and his conquest of the Middle East and the caliphate and all these things. And white people are not aware of our role in history. And so consequently, we have this individualist mentality. We call ourselves Judeo-Christian. We talk about the liberal enlightenment and the Renaissance. And we have this vague notion of how we advance democracy and human rights and stuff. We have a glorious past.
Why are you poo-pooing some of the best accomplishments of the West? Why would you poo-poo liberalism and human rights? I think those are beautiful things that the West accomplished in a Jewish tradition, I think. Why are you poo-pooing these things? What is it that's glorious that you're looking for? He's looking for an icon of war and conquest and defeat. He's looking for something to empower him because he feels that his world is under assault. Caveat, if he feels that there's the liberal, progressive wing is attacking him and he feels that there's a Jewish element there, there's a part of me that can understand where he's coming from. I, too, lament the progressive elements in the Jewish world that are erasing identity and empowering jihadism and other things. I very much lament that, but I wouldn't take that against Israel. Israel is not that. There are elements of Israel which are what I call blue state Israel, not blue and white, but just plain blue, Democrat and progressive. But the main thrust of Israel is biblical promise, strength, King David, spiritual light to the world. These are the main thrusts. Bible, anti-jihad, family. Okay. And by the way, I don't think that Nick is a family man yet either, which is, there's something amiss there in terms of his worldview. I wouldn't trust, somebody who doesn't have children yet in the sense that he is a, leader in Judaism. A person who does not have children, is not 40 years old, really cannot even be a leader of the prayer on Yom Kippur because he doesn't have yet on the line and is not put on the line. He doesn't have at stake what it means to build a family and a home. This is an angry young man. This is an angry young white man, and he's lashing out. And he's looking for somebody to be his father figure, and he thinks that his father figure is like Hadrian. He's looking for like a strong, angry man that he could latch onto and be like, I'm like him. I have a glorious tradition. I'm looking for something bullyish. And don't forget that he has spoken favorably about Hitler. And I understand that totally. His is a Nietzschean mentality. His problem inside is that he feels weak inside and he's looking to latch onto something big, something mean, something strong, something that'll give him identity. He's saying, give me identity. Give me identity. And he has latched onto the angry parts of Rome or angry parts of the church, the replacement, and giving him license to be angry and to be violent and to be uber, right? And to be Nietzschean. He's looking for that.
We are the Greeks. We are the Romans, the Holy Roman Empire, the Byzantines, the Renaissance, the explorers, the kingdoms and empires of Europe. That's who we are. And they hate to be reminded of it. They hate the idea that we would have an identity that is distinct and against them.
Why would you think I would I don't know if you're referring to Israel and the Jews. I don't have any problem with that. I want you to have those identities. Be proud of those identities. It's actually the places that are losing their identity that are so problematic. France and England and now, New York, and those places are that to me, you want to be proud of those. You know what? The Jewish people, we had a hand in all of those empires. We helped those empires economically. We helped make them happen. We helped the printing press happen. We helped all this stuff happen, the sciences and the technology and the financial aspect of it. I got no problem with that. I want you to have your identity. I want you to have your national identity. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with your national. I want you to have a strong national identity. In fact, it's a strong national identity, which gives me license to have my strong national identity and Jerusalem as the spiritual capital of the world. And so, like, you understand, like, there's like a needless conflict in there. It's like he is of the Greeks that needed to erase the Jews and their religion. He is of those Romans who couldn't stand the fact that the temple was independent in Jerusalem. It wasn't all of Roman history or Greek history that was like that. And there were many things that there were tied in between these cultures and civilization. So you see, the Jewish people and Israel have always been a type of Jiminy Cricket, a type of consciousness for the world, and we're consciousness for those empires, the Babylonian and the Persian and the Greek and the Roman and the various countries that had power in the Renaissance and all those times. We were always there, and we'll always be there. We'll always be there as an accompaniment to civilizations. And maybe there'll be such a time as that the leading civilization will be Jerusalem and Israel. But I think in my heart that the most important verse is in the beginning of the Bible, where it says that Japheth will dwell in the tents of Shem. Japheth is Greek, it's Rome, Japhet, and it'll dwell within the house of Shem, which is spirituality of the Abrahamic and Jewish variety, and that there'll be harmony there. But that's not where Nick Fuentes is.
They hate Philip II. They hate Nicholas II. They hate Louis XIV. They hate Edward because Edward kicked them out of England. And they hate Titus and they hate the Romans for this reason. That's who we are. That is what
we hate. The haters. We hate the haters. Are you such a hater? Then okay. If you're a hater, then I think I have every right to hate you back. If you want to destroy Israel and our civilization, I don't think that you're representative. I don't think that you're representative of everything that is the West. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of place of harmony. But if you think of yourself as one of those haters and you want to hate Israel and you want to destroy Israel and Jerusalem, well, then you are an enemy. And that's the other thing. Coming back to the menorah, do you really think, Nick Fuentes, that it's about the fact that you've got this object, supposedly in the Vatican? It's a thing. It's a thing. Was a beautiful thing and a glorious thing and a marvelous thing. We can rebuild that thing. We will rebuild that thing. That third temple is coming. And no Nick Fuentes, no talking head who's self-styled Greco-Roman, you're not going to stop it. There's nothing that you're going to do is going to stop it. You might slow it down a little bit. You might take some other good people off the path of being part of it, but you're not going to stop it. And the menorah that you took, that you're so proud of, that you're making T-shirts from, by the way, I would buy a T-shirt like that just to remember our failures vis-a-vis God, not our weakness vis-a-vis the Romans. We fought the Romans many times, and nobody fought the Romans like us. They made a coin just to be like, yeah, we beat the Jews, because we were such a formidable, tiny enemy that just were almost unstoppable. Yes, the Romans won in the end because God willed it, But God wills it also that we come back to our land and rebuild Jerusalem in our time.
we have to embody. So remember that. That nothing makes them more upset than this. The other stuff they can appropriate. You want to talk about the Enlightenment, they'll talk about Spinoza. You want to talk about the Nazis, they'll talk about Carl Schmitt. They'll reappropriate it in their own way. They'll reappropriate Nietzsche. They'll read into it whatever they need to read into it.
He's the one who's appropriating Nietzsche. Notice, by the way, that he said Nietzsche. That's what's in his mind. Power over others. Okay? Survival of the fittest. He wants to be the big dog because inside he's got some kind of internal weakness that he's trying to hide.
But what they cannot reappropriate is the arch. They cannot, the arch, pause. They cannot.
Why should we reappropriate the arch? It's proof of what you guys did and what side of the story you were on. If indeed you are that. Okay. Why should I? Why we go to that arch? You said it yourself, Nick. We go there and look at it. We go there and remember, and we go there and we remember the miracle that 2,000 years later we're back. Don't you understand? That arch is proof of our return. That arch is proof of the hate against us throughout time, and that we are yet alive and not assimilated and victorious. How do you think that arch hurts us? It doesn't. It strengthens us. I mean, appropriate. Yeah, we appropriate the arch. We go there and we laugh at it. We mock it. And we thank God that he has brought us back to our land, right? That's really the issue here. It's not mocking the Romans. I don't need to mock the Romans. I respect the Romans. It's not that issue at all. It's to say God has brought us back to our good land.
Not reappropriate these things. So we have to become proud of that. They literally said the line. Ron Coleman, this little Jewish rabbi, he's a lawyer, of course. He goes in the Romans. Where are they now? You're looking at him. You're looking at him. We're the new Romans. We are Jacob. We are.
Wait. Say what? Say what? Can we back up a little bit here? Let's back up a little bit. Let's hear this again. Listen carefully.
We're the new Romans. We are Jacob. We are Jacob. You are Esau. We are the church.
What? Say what? We're Esau? Oh, because you think you got the blessing? Is that what it is? No, listen. Rome is Esau. Rome is Edom. Rome, what you're describing and the way you're talking, you are the ultimate Esau. Okay, jealous, small-minded, angry, looking for power, looking to defeat Jacob. I mean, who's appropriating, right? They can reappropriate everything. Bro, you're trying to reappropriate Jacob. My middle name is Jacob. Okay, you are not Jacob, Nick Fuentes. You are not Jacob. You are not Jacob, Mr. Appropriator. No, you ain't. You never will be. No, you got that all wrong. You are trying to be parts of Rome, maybe parts of Greece, but at the end, you're not a mathematician or an engineer or a merchant. You're just a talking head. But okay. You want to identify yourself with the bad parts of those society, but you are not Jacob, bro.
Church, you are the synagogue. We are Rome. You are Jerusalem. That's who we are.
In any case, Nick Fuentes got some serious issues, but you know what? I want to thank him. I want to thank him for reminding us that we're Jacob, and I want to thank you for reminding us of the pain of the arch of Titus. And maybe Nick Fuentes is really there to remind us that we are Jacob and that there is an arch of Titus and that the temple was destroyed. I would say the real problem is the many Jews who don't know that there was a temple destroyed, who don't care that much. So thank you, Nick Fuentes, for making us remember who we are and what our job under God is. God bless you folks wherever you are. Don't forget to be part of the story. Need your help so much. Please go anti-Nick Fuentes and help build Israel. BuildIsrael.com. BuildIsrael.com is the great website name that God put into my head so that we could together build Israel. BuildIsrael.com. Very important. Our effort to beautify and strengthen the land of Israel and Jerusalem, as opposed to the destructive forces that Nick Fuentes was talking about. And the other way to help support our programming is buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. Buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. God bless you folks wherever you are. Stay tuned, stay strong, stay connected. Stay wanting to build that third temple in Jerusalem because it's coming. And the Arch of Titus will be there to remind them of what they did and to remind us of our sins and to remind us of how proud we are to be living in a time of a third temple. God bless you folks wherever you are, and shalom.